In the previous video, we saw the current scenario of startup ecosystem in India and some basic concept about it. Do you know everywhere around 90% startup fails? There are many reasons why shouldn't you start a startup. So in this video, I'm gonna show you all of that and some key qualities that a startup founder should have. First, it's really hard to start a startup. The amount of pressure a founder faces on a daily basis is increasing always. It's not like 9 to 5 job that you will go to work at 9 and come back at 5. It's a 24 hours constant work. Every minute, every second a founder have to work in order to get success in the startup. So if you're not ready to take this stress in your life, you shouldn't start a startup. It's better to go and work for a 9 to 5 job. And yes, you shouldn't work in a startup also because the fast-paced environment is not meant for you. So if you are ready to work for 24 hours a day, then you should start a startup. Second, financial burden. A founder has to invest a lot, means a lot of money into a startup in order to get the startup to a stage that it can make profit. Sometimes it takes years to make a profit. And if you raise a funding from a VC or an angel funder, then the amount of pressure is way more than when you are bootstrapped. So in order to give return on the investment, you need to work hard. You need to face more pressure in the work. So if you are not ready to get broke again and again, you shouldn't start a startup. For those who are ready to take risk to get broke, or if you have any multiple streams of income, then you should go for a startup. Yes, you have to face a lot of loss in your initial days, but at the end, maybe after 5, sometimes it's 4, sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's early, sometimes it's late, but you have to be constantly investing money again and again to run the operations so that after some years you will get some profit. Third, time commitment. Building a startup takes a lot of time. A lot means a lot of time. Sometimes it's 2 years to build a unicorn, sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 10, sometimes it gets to 15. So it's a never ending process. As I told, a founder have to work 24 hours for building a startup. So if you are ready to give a whole lot of your time, then you should start a startup. From the ideation to fundraising to launch to making profit, it is a very long process that we even think. It's more than what we know, what we see, what we hear from every founder. So if you're ready to commit this time, then you should build a startup. Fourth, pressure. Startup doesn't mean to build a unicorn. It always means to prove yourself, to prove your company, to prove everyone who bet on you. You have to deliver result on a regular basis so that everyone who had bet on you, who had given you funds, should have confidence on you and your startup. So the pressure of delivering every day, every year, on a year-on-year basis or a month-on-month basis, your graph should show a upward direction, not a downward. So this pressure may lead to a very hectic schedule, a very stressful life, and many things. So if you are ready to take this pressure, to take the bet on you or the confidence level that everyone shows on you, then you should start a startup. If you have any doubt on yourself, you shouldn't take that step to start a startup. Better give the time to 9 to 5 job or to do something else. Fifth, skills. In a startup, you are the only team member in the whole company, which means you have to do the sales, you have to do the marketing, you have to do the designs and design and product design, you have to build the MVP, you have to do the PPTs, you have to pitch the investor. All this work is only done by the founder. So you have to be having all the skill set that matches all of this. Remember, in a startup, you are the leader. You have to manage the whole team. You need to know the communication, the way of storytelling, so that every team member should have confidence on yourself and every team member should look up to you to do their work. It's not easy to manage a wide diverse of team, but it's really hard to manage yourself and the only 2-3 people or your co-founders in the company. So better to have this skill set that will help you grow your business and to manage all the work or all the operations in the company. So the summary is, it's all depends on the why. If you have a why and a very good reason to start a startup, then you should go ahead and the world is full of opportunities. But if you have any doubt or you don't have any confidence on yourself and your startup, you shouldn't go ahead. You should step back, think a lot more, gain experience, gain some skill set, then go for a startup. This way, you have the confidence on yourself and you can deliver it to your team members and others surrounding you and your startup. Maybe your family members, maybe the VC, the angel funders, your mentors. In that way, you will gain confidence of there and you will have your self-confidence too. So that's all from my side. If you learned something from this video, do hit the like button, and for more such content, do subscribe us and hit the bell icon. And yes, do follow us on our Instagram and on our LinkedIn page. All the link are in the descriptions. And yes, our next video will be on some basic terminology about startup before we proceed to the industry analysis. So till then, bye bye.